Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. So today I didn't do a video because I was so busy. However, I've gotten some time in the evening. It is currently 9:16, so I'm going to be dropping this video. I'm going to be dropping this video for now. So we are going to be talking about our strategy, that is the trion strategy. Basically, before I go to do that, I'm going to be doing a review. There's something I want to show you guys on GBP JPY, and then I'll proceed on Euro AUD to show you how the strategy unfolds. And I told you guys, the first 1,000 people to subscribe, I'm going to teach them trading for free. Trading for free. So I'll put you guys in a Telegram channel, and I'll be teaching you trading for free. The first 1,000 people only. So subscribe and be part of those people. Be part of those people. If you don't know how to trade, if you don't know how to analyze the market, this is your chance. Take advantage of it. So we are going to be talking about GBP JPY. I think it is around here. Okay, there. So we're going to be talking about GBP JPY, and there is something I want to show you before I proceed to our strategy. So you can see that price was dropping, and it dropped up to around this area, bounced again, and then came back to around this area and gave us an indecision candle in form of a dragonfly. So I'll just mark that candle. There's something I want to show you. So after that candle, we started an uptrend. Price started going up, making higher highs and higher lows. If you don't see them, you go to the line chart. You'll see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Always use the line chart for precision, because if you go on high time frames like weekly and the daily, it is going to be hard for you to see the market structure and map it out very well. But if you use the line chart, it is going to be easy. So I've marked it with this line. We shall just drop down to the lower time frame, I think to the 2 hour. Let's try the 2 hour, see if it is there. What I wanted to show you. I don't think it is on the 2 hour. I think it is on the 1 hour. Let me see on the 1 hour. Yeah, it is here. I've seen it. It is on the 1 hour. So now, people who are trading, on lower time frames, and there's something I want to show you. And this is for mainly supply and demand. Let's say you trade only supply and demand, and you're trading on the lower time frames. Let's say the 1 hour. You're going to come here, because what we shall assume is that you're going to be looking for the trend one, then you're going to be looking for valid supply or demand zones to buy. So you're going to come here and see an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high. Then you're going to mark out your demand zone like that. Which price will come, respect and buy. However, you're going to be looking to sell at a supply zone, which we have a good one here. Good supply zone here. Why is this one a good supply zone? Remember, you consider these as your higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. There's a demand zone here. So this supply zone, with one candle, removed this demand zone. This is an engulfing candle. Engulfed around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. Only one candle eating all the previous 7 candles. So this is a good selling spot. It is a good supply zone. It also broke the previous structures, this one and this one, making higher highs up to this area. So you're looking to sell if price comes back to this area, isn't it? Good. So now, where is your target going to be? But before you even think about your target, look at what happened. Price reacted from the zone and then took you out. Your stop losses would be around here. Price took you out, and then it proceeded to fall minimalistically. Then it came back and then fell up to here. So you would be looking to go maybe beyond this level because you think that now we are selling and we are making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So we are likely to make a lower high and then make another lower low. However, price bought from this demand zone and went up. So if you're still trading demand and supply on the lower time frames without the high time frame context, you would have a zone here. Believe me, if you don't have this price action on the left here, it is going to be hard for you not to use this as a supply zone, because we have all the qualities of a good supply zone. What are the qualities of good supply zone? We have two indecision candles, one engulfing candle. There is a break of structure here, a break of two internal structures to the upside. So we are likely to sell if price comes back to this area, forgetting that the market has now changed. It is in an uptrend and it has just reacted from a demand zone. So price is likely to react a little bit but come back and take out this zone and proceed to the upside. Why? Because we are in an uptrend on the daily time frame. Or price hit the support on the daily time frame, so it is likely to keep on going until when it hits the resistance. And you see what it did here: hit the resistance, made a low, tried to come, it did not proceed to the upside, made another lower low, then went back to react from this one, forming a double top, and then dropped again. So you're likely to be stopped out if you're trying to sell these supply zones in an uptrend market. So that is what I wanted to show you there, guys. You'll forgive me for the noise, for the background noise. I have construction works going on outside, so it is going to be disrupting you a little bit, but you shouldn't worry about it. It won't be lasting for long. Okay, so I wanted to show you that just to reoccur that thing of you buying whichever supply or demand zones you see on the lower time frame. On the lower time frames, you're going to see a lot of break of structures and change of character. So what you have to do, you have to understand where the high time frame is going. That is the only way you'll be able to succeed with this strategy. So that being done, let me proceed to Euro AUD. So the lesson for today is going to come from Euro AUD. So now this is Euro AUD, but before we proceed, I want you guys to remember we have our strategy, the trion strategy. It is very simple. We have top-down analysis combined with support and resistance plus supply and demand, mostly on lower time frame. Basically, supply and demand helps you to enter the trades on the lower time frame. Top-down analysis is to determine the trend of the market from the high time frame to the lower time frame, and then support and resistance is to know where the price action is going to be stopping or turning around for the meantime on the high time frames. I know that is confusing, but when you take time, or if you have studied most of those strategies, then it is going to be easy for you to put that together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with Euro AUD and I show you how this strategy works. So now you have Euro AUD and this is the daily time frame. So we had price going up, making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. If you don't see that well, just go to the line chart. You're going to be seeing these structures very well, and they're going to be easier for you to mark if you go to the line chart. So now, what are we interested in here? First, we are going to draw our support and resistance on the high time frame, that is the daily time frame. I normally use the weekly or daily for my direction and then key turning points of the market. So you're going to draw your support and resistance on the daily. So how do you do your support and resistance? You're going to identify the areas that led price to turn around. that led price to turn around. You have to be precise when you're drawing them, but remember, support and resistance is not a line, especially on the high time frame. It is a zone, so don't draw them as lines, rather as zones. So why have I drawn this one here? The trick is simple. Price was going up, reacted from this resistance and dropped, then again reacted from the resistance for the second time and dropped. After it broke out of the resistance, then reacted on it as support, which led to this massive move to the upside, up to around there. So I think I can just pull this one down. Yes, up to around there. So after price tried to retraced here, but it did not reach down here. After retracing for some time, it made another resistance here. This resistance, you see it? Resistance, then later broke out, retested on the resistance, on the support, and then went to the upside, making a higher high from this other high. Now what happened is price dropped. This drop is what we call the correction phase. Whenever price goes up, it has to make a correction. Like for example here, price went up, then corrected, went up, corrected, went up, corrected again, went up, corrected. Price is always going to move in waves. It does not move in a straight line. So after price recorrected this phase and then used here as a resistance, dropped to this level. Now here there is a supply zone, price left here, a very clear supply zone where we also happen to have former resistance. So this is a supply zone, daily supply zone, and there is resistance here. We got the line chart. You see this resistance here. This one now creates what we call a head and a shoulder. This is a left shoulder. This one, both of them are left shoulders, and this is a head. And now price dropped down to create another shoulder. People who trade chart patterns, you know this very well. So after price reached this area here, we were looking to buy again. Why? Because this is the area that price used as resistance, and then support, then bought massively. 3 big daily candles to the upside. So we expect that when price comes back to this price level, the buyers will come in and also buy massively to push price action back to the upside. So what happened is price reached here. However, we were not interested until we saw our confirmation. What is the confirmation? The confirmation is any indecision candle. It might be this hammer, bullish hammer, it might be this pin bar, it might be a doji, it might be a dragonfly, any indecision candle, it might be a hanging man, any indecision candle that would see here. That will be our confirmation that we might be likely to go to the upside. Okay, so now after seeing the indecision candle, that was our confirmation. So what do? We then drop to the 4-hour time frame or any time frame below. After the closure of this daily indecision candle, you have to mark your zones very well and be patient. Wait for price action to come to that zone. Do not trade in the middle of nowhere. Always trade in the zones. So be patient until when this daily candle closes as an indecision candle. That is, I told you, 70% that the price is going to turn around the moment you see such an indecision candle. I think I saw the same thing happening on BTC USD, but we shall check out on BTC after this analysis here. So after the price has closed as an indecision candle, you want now to drop to the lower time frames. That is the 4-hour, that is 2-hour, 3-hour, and 1 hour. So this is where price started. That candle that closed as an indecision candle started from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it closed from here as an indecision candle. You would want to go to the 1 hour and see if we have a demand zone around this area after that candle has closed. So just mark that and we go to the 1 hour and see if we can find a demand zone there. So when you come to the 1 hour, there is no demand zone at that level. There is at least a clear demand zone. I can't see any that I would be interested in. However, you can come to the 2 hours and see if there was any you have to be looking for these zones on those time frames. Don't just sit on one time frame, otherwise you're going to miss out on many opportunities. So on the 1 hour, on the 3 hour, there's something that looks like a demand zone. Say an indecision candle and then one big candle. However, it engulfs only that indecision candle. So this one is not one that I would take advantage of. I would be so hesitant to take that one. However, there is one which is here, a clear one here. Now these are the zones. Now because we have confirmed with the closure of our indecision candle, we have come to the lower time frames to look for our entries, but this time we are looking for only buy entries. Why are we looking for only buy entries? Because the price has now confirmed to us that we are in a potential uptrend, and now the market is going to be trending up to the daily resistance, which is here. I want you to understand these things well, guys. So now we have to mark out our zones. You can use the 1 hour, you can use the 3 hour, 4 hour, or 2 hour. However, if you use the 4 hour, that means you're going to have a few zones. But if you use the 1 hour, you're going to have many zones. Okay, let me put it like this. When you use the 4 hour, you're going to have a few but quality zones. When you use the 1 hour, you're going to have many but low quality zones. Can they work? Yes, they can absolutely work, but they are not going to be as accurate as the one you're going to find on the 3 hour and the 4 hour. So let's proceed. We just mark out our zone. So when you mark out this and price does not come to retest, it is okay. Mark out another zone that you see. If price does not come back there, it is fine. You just keep on following and marking out the zones. Now this one, price retested. Rally, base, rally. This first two, price missed on the 3 hour. On the third one, price came and retested, and look at the buy, guys. Look at the buy to the upside. You see, the risk reward would have been 1:6. You would risk 32 pips to make 200 pips, which is a very good risk to reward, and this was a sniper entry, guys. So let's proceed. We said you just look for only buys to the upside. Let's proceed. There was also another one here, an indecision candle, and then a candle that breaks structure. This one here, I think you would mark up to here. You'd get some pips there. And then do we have any? I don't think we have any. On the 3 hour, they are done until when price reached here. 3 hour, they are done. Then let's continue. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 zones on the 3 hour, but only 2 were effective. So you'd get 2 trades in that leg to the upside. Remember, you know that the market is in an uptrend, and you also know where it is heading. So you're very confident that you're trading with the trend. So let's go to the 2 hour and see how many zones we would get. On the 2 hour, we have the same zone that was on the 3 hour. This is 1. Then we have another one here. This is 2. Then we have another one here. This is 3. And then we have this one, a big one here. I don't know if it was used. I don't know. That is 4. And then we have one that is hidden. I think this is clear on the 1 hour. Let me just, this is hidden, but I think it is clear on the 1 hour. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on the 2 hour, we added one more zone from the 4 we had on the 3 hour. And look at the move away from here. Price tapped in and immediately it shot to the upside. So now I'm going to go to the 1 hour, but I would emphasize more you use the 2 hour and 1 hour. Why? Because the structures are going to be more clear in those lower time frames than the high time frame. So if you're looking for entries, you need to be on the lower time frame, but don't go beyond. Okay, you can go beyond the 1 hour, but not below 30 minutes. The last time frame you want to look for trades should be the 30 minutes time frame. Don't go beyond the 30 minutes time frame, otherwise things are going to change. So this is the 1 hour, and I want you to see how the 1 hour has a lot of setups. Okay, so this is another look at the setups on the 1 hour. They are many and clear. many and clear. Now this is a setup I've been getting on the 3 hour and 4 hour, but now on the 1 hour you cannot get it because you marked this candle, yet the reaction was from up here. That is another thing also you're going to be missing some trades because you're over refining on the 1 hour. You see that one, price did not use it. So after breaking the structure, this is now where we wanted to enter from. After breaking this structure and also breaking here, we did expect price to come down here. Price was supposed to react from that zone. So I think there is another here, but I did not go far. So that is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same as on the 2 hour. So this one was not used. We shall leave it. This one was also not used. We shall eliminate it. This one was also not used. We shall leave it. And this one was also not used. We shall leave it. In fact, on the 2 hour, you would get 2 trades. On the 3 hour, you get 2 trades, 3 trades. But on the 1 hour, you'd get only 1 trade. So yours was to mark and follow, mark and follow. So this was the trade that you're going to get on the 1 hour, but it was more clear on the 2 hours time frame. So price came, tapped in, and then let's see how many pips. And then gave you 130 pips, guys. So I think guys, you've been following, and you see how the things become simple when you understand the concepts very well. First, you have to go to the high time frame, that is daily or weekly. Mark out your support and resistance very well. It is important that you get those support and resistance very well. It is not hard to get them, but it is important that you should get them accurately. After, you're going to now wait for price action to hit either your support or resistance. That's why you see I have a lot of pairs here, because if I am to wait for price to move from here up to here before I start selling, and remember we sold from here, price dropped, and I know it is going to react from here and drop. However, I'm not going to be interested in this one because I'm skeptical about it. Price might just blow through because we are in an uptrend. But the best scenario I would want is price to react from here, drop here, and then I look for buys to come and break this head and shoulder. So you have to make sure that you get your zones straight. If I'm to wait for price to move from here up to here, it will take me how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost a week of waiting. So if price has hit this area and I enter a trade, it is going to take me more than a week to wait price to come down here. Why? Because we are in an uptrend, so candles that are dropping are going to be a little bit many and choppy. So what do I have to do? I have to have many pairs. I know they always tell you that, oh, trade one pair, keep focus on a few pairs. Yeah, it is good when you're a beginner, but if you're advanced, there is nothing that you cannot do, especially if you know how to analyze the market. Any market that you get, Bitcoin, crypto, gold, anything that you get, commodities, as long as it has candlesticks, it is going to be easier for you to analyze that market. So there is no fear of following only one pair or whatever, because if I trade on a high time frame, it is going to take me probably weeks minus getting a trade if I'm to follow only one pair. So what do I do in order to keep my quality and have enough trades? I have to follow many pairs, keep track of them, and then mark out my zones very well. So the only pair that has reached my zone is the pair that I'm going to be looking to trade. Reach my zone, give me the confirmation, and then I start looking for setups. If I don't have a pair at my zone, I'm not entering those trades. Now, those are the rules. You can follow them or you can choose to make your own rules. So if price is not, now for example, you come to the chart and you see price around this area, definitely you're not looking to buy or sell this market. You just have to wait price to hit here or hit here, look for confirmation, and then you start doing the needful. For top down analysis, the moment price gets here, you have marked out your zones very well, and now you know that price is going to buy. Let's say it is here. The moment price gets here, you drop down to the 4-hour. Now that is what we call top down analysis. You have dropped down to another time frame, and this is what I'm telling you guys. If you look at this Euro AUD, it's giving us sales vibes. Why? Because price hit the daily supply zone, which also happens to be the shoulder, the right shoulder of this head and shoulder. After price hitting that daily supply zone, it started dropping. Now if you came to the 4-hour Detroit that we quote, it was here. Price hit the zone and then dropped, went up and then dropped to make breaking this internal structure, reacted from this demand zone, violated it, and then came back up. You're looking to sell from this supply zone. This is a rally based drop. You're looking to sell from this supply zone on the 4-hour. So price reached here, sold very well. Now it broke the actual structure, because after selling, after coming here, it made a higher high, reacted from the zone, and then made a lower low. This is a lower low, lower high, lower low. So price is coming again to react from this zone. We don't expect this low to break if price is to keep continuing down. So we expect price to react from this zone here, because there's a break of structure here. There is a supply zone up here. Though it was tested with this week, I expect it to hold. So if price is to fall, it is supposed to come and touch here, then fall down here. So what do you learn from this? It is very simple. Prepare and wait for price to come to you and then execute. Don't just come to the chart and start looking for sell, sells, buy, buy, buy all the way. You're going to burn out. So there's something that was happening on this is Bitcoin. There's something that is happening on Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin very well, we are at our place. But the only issue with Bitcoin is not like these other pairs. It has a lot of volatility. So you're going to always see those wicks that are wicking up and down. So you have to be careful when Bitcoin reaches that zone. I told you we were supposed to buy Bitcoin from down here, but it did not touch our zone. However, this was the buy that we really intended to use. Even here, there was a demand zone that Bitcoin did not come to retest. Let me show you. I think it was on the 2-hour. Bitcoin did us dirty, this zone here. Bitcoin did not come to retest it. Even this one, it was not retested. The moment it set off, it just went. So it knew. I think they have discovered our strategy, so they are trying to play around with their manipulation. So Bitcoin shot up to the upside. After shooting up to the upside, we have reached this previous supply zone. Look at this engulfing daily candle. You cannot ignore this engulfing daily candle. Price dropped until it broke structure. There is no way you can ignore that. So that engulfing daily candle gave us a supply zone and also a resistance zone. So price came, wicked upside, and then came down and gave us an indecision candle. Look at this candle, guys. That is a dragonfly. So after this indecision candle, we are looking now to sell supply zone on the lower time frame. If price closes below this zone like it is, and then maybe the candle that opens tomorrow starts dropping, we just go down to the lower time frames and start looking for supply zones to sell. But if it closes above, or if it opens and goes above, closes above, we shall be looking for a potential retest and buys to the upside. So let's just drop to the 4-hour and see. So now if you drop to the 4-hour, what do you see? It is looking like something you could know. This is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Do you see something like price making here a double top before falling down? Do you see something like that? Or potentially price breaking this trend line and also this zone to make a lower low, and then come up here to make a head and shoulder on the 4 hours time frame? I see possibilities like that. Or potentially price might just want to come and make another high before it can drop, or it might just want to respect this trend line and still go up. However, for Bitcoin, there is no way we shall be interested in this Bitcoin unless it shows us that it wants to go down. How? By breaking this trend line and looking down. Then we shall be looking for either a retest on the trend line or a supply zone to start selling. Why do you have confidence in sales? Because this is a resistance zone on a daily time frame with a good supply zone. I think, guys, I've taught you enough, and right now I'm tired, so I'm going to end there. Remember, the first 1,000 people, I'm going to be giving them free lessons for at least 1 month. So make sure you be part of those first 1,000 people, and the offer is only for the 1,000 people. So subscribe and be part of the first 1,000 people. I'm going to be teaching them everything for free from A to Z. Also, if you have learned something from the video, don't forget to like the video. So that is all for today. Bye.